Hey there smartphone fans, it's been quite a busy week with so many new phones and I got a new Xiaomi as well. I specifically bought the Mi 8 SE over the Mi 8 because I think it actually represents a better phone, but I'm yet to find that out. So let me just share my unboxing and first impressions of the phone for you. Now, first things first, what's important about the Mi 8 SE, it comes packing the new Snapdragon 710, the one that's actually replacing the 660. It has the same cameras as the Redmi Note 5, but a 20 megapixel front camera. And I got the 4GB RAM version because, well, if you can't do a good 4GB RAM version, then probably the 6GB RAM will not be good as well. And it's cheaper. Yeah, I got that because it's cheaper. Okay, so the Mi 8 SE comes in a traditional Xiaomi box. Let's just open it and see what's inside. If you're wondering why there's so many Chinese characters, it's because the Xiaomi Mi 8 SE is not a global model. It's unlikely that Xiaomi will release a global ROM for this phone, so this is an English and Chinese based only. I have no beef with that. If you do, well, that is your thing. Opening the box reveals a dark grey Xiaomi Mi 8 SE, which also I think comes in like a silver or beige type of color, because on the back it's grey but it's black at the same time. It's a glass back, but let's see what else have Xiaomi packed inside. You also get a nice silicone case, cheap but still nice, better than nothing. SIM tray pin, and of course a Type-C to headphone jack converter, since the Mi 8 SE does not come with a headphone jack like a lot of Xiaomi phones these days. Well, pretty much everything that's above $300. Xiaomi seems to think that, well, that is a feature for expensive phones. Well, it really isn't. There's the USB Type-C charger, finally USB Type-C phone from Xiaomi in like a more decent price range. And it's a pretty plain charger, I think like a 10-15 watt one. So this definitely can support a quick charge like 3.0 or 5.0 or whatever. So it's gonna be quick, but it's not gonna be like super fast on this thing. And the cable actually looks a bit cheapish from Xiaomi, like practically USB Type-C cable you get in around $5-6. So the packaging, well, it's not very premium. The Mi 8 SE is priced around $200 below the Mi 8, which comes with the Snapdragon 845, a larger 6.2 display. This one has a 5.88 inch one. The really good news is it is still a Super AMOLED panel and it's still the same resolution as the Xiaomi Mi 8. The back is, as I said, made of glass. There's a metal rim just surrounding the phone. There's the USB Type-C, no headphone jack. The cameras do protrude a little bit. There's a dual camera setup on the back with AI, and I always like when the power button is textured so you can tell what's the power button, what's the volume button. The Xiaomi Mi construction doesn't feel very premium. It certainly feels good. You know, this is sort of a high-end phone. It does have an eye blaster, which is really good, and it also has a notch which is quite large, but the bottom bezel is really small. Now the notch on the front is larger because it houses a front-facing camera, and what you see on your right is a front-facing flash as well, and the front camera is a 20 megapixel shooter, so it should be really good for selfies. Now, after I've unboxed the Mi 8 SE, I'm gonna show you what I've learned about it. So first things first, the Super AMOLED is really good outside. I'm talking about direct sunlight, you can see everything. It's like one of the brightest displays I've ever seen, and it does also come with, you guessed it, a always on display feature, as well as fingerprint and naturally Face ID unlock, which is fast but definitely not as fast as a OnePlus or a Huawei V10 for instance. I like to get back to that construction thing. The phone felt really solid. I feel the construction is solid, but I gotta grab because the edges are not curved on this phone, and it's small. Here you can see it side to side with my OnePlus 6, which is a 6.3 inch device, and the Mi 8 SE looks much smaller and feels smaller, and it's also thinner. And because the edges are not curved, there's not that much of a gap between the thickest and the thinnest part of the phone. I really didn't like the fact that the camera protruded a little bit too much, but since it's an f1.9 sensor, you really can't have it not protruding at all. And as I said, this is a Chinese and English version MIUI ROM. It won't come with Google Play, but writing Google in the Xiaomi App Store and clicking on the buy now icon, you get this one and you can install it, reboot, and you will have all the Google services available. And as you might have guessed, I am rocking a theme from Xiaomi's theme store, which has like a bunch of free themes so you can use. Xiaomi now introduced with the MIUI 9A card system on your left, which you can customize, and it's like pretty useful, as is like the Google services you can install and actually choose which ones to have, not like get preloaded all the boltware from Google, but the MIUI ROM does come with a lot of Chinese apps you probably don't need and you will uninstall. Here are some more themes for you if you don't like the one I'm using. I found a bunch of cool ones. I like switch between them every now and then because I can't pick out which one I like more. MIUI really has a really good customization system. Even if there's like a lot of paid stuff in there, there's like loads and loads of free stuff as well. Now a closer look at the specs and we'll get to some benchmarks I performed. Android 8.1 Oreo out of the box on top of the MIUI 9. Snapdragon 710, it's a new 2 and 6 core configuration, so the device hardware info gets it wrong. Here I have a 4GB RAM version with 64 GB of internal storage. The cameras look to be absolutely the same on the rear cameras as the Redmi Note 5, and this comes with a very tiny 3120 mAh battery. But so far what I've spent with the phone, the battery life is actually really good, probably as good as a Snapdragon 660 if you're rocking like a 3400 mAh one. So the 710 is those 10nm really make a difference, and this probably will be a very efficient chip. The GPS lock was fast inside my house, but not like flagship fast, definitely better than mid-ranges out there. The storage speed looks exactly the same as the Redmi Note 5 does, but the Intuitive score is like much higher. It's 170,000 points. It's a really high CPU and graphics score, so this should mean that this phone is really good for gaming. And on Geekbench, it scores as good as a Snapdragon 835 even. The AI camera I'm yet to test out, but it looks like it really recognizes scenes and can apply them. The display, as I said, it's an HDR10 Super AMOLED display with high and full HD resolution, and it's one of the brightest ones I've seen. But for some reason, I'm not fine with the colors that I'm getting on this display, probably because I'm not used to Super AMOLED, or probably because I don't like AMOLED as much. But I know you just love those oversaturated AMOLEDs. It's my opinion. So the Mi 8 SE review is coming next week with a full gaming battery life.